This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, somebody goes on. All right, so welcome to this informational talk, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What the bleep is that? A lot of people think that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin is very technical and all that kind of stuff, and it can be. If you're a technical person, you can make it as technical as you want, but I keep it easy for people, and I teach people privacy in cryptos, because a lot of people think that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are private, and that's not the case at all. Also, so yeah, so that is, so what I wanted to say was that you can make it as difficult as you want, but it's like your television. You don't need to know what's inside your TV to, to have it work for you. You can use the remote, which is simpler. And it's the same with cryptocurrency. You can make it as difficult as you want. So I want to start with to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm telling you is what I did myself or what I learned, and what you do with cryptocurrencies is completely up to you. So, um, it's your own responsibility. I will tell you a little bit about how I got into cryptos. I'm in the freedom community here in New Hampshire. Everybody uses cryptocurrencies. And there was it's called the Porcupine Festival. It's in New Hampshire every year, and I was there, and they had a big um, Bitcoin tent there, and I felt drawn to it, and I should have gone, because Bitcoin at that point was $54. I looked it up afterwards, and I was like, bummer. Anyway, so I didn't go there, got distracted. Next year again, this was in 2016 or 17, I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, somebody set me up the year after. I didn't go to the tent again, and somebody set me up with my first wallet, a friend, and I bought my first $20 of Bitcoin. And then I'm not sure, straight away or a little bit after that, I started to hear about it, and I got interested, and I started researching. And I'm the sort of person that when I get into something, or I get grabbed by something, I start researching it like crazy. And I did that with cryptos, and I got enthusiastic, started talking about it with people. And then I found out that even in the crypto community, where a lot of people use cryptos, most of them, they use it, but they don't know so much about it. And then I got people who asked me to help them, and that's how I started the workshops. And my first workshop was 2 days, and I was just bombarding people with everything I knew, and their heads just exploded. It was just too much. So now I have this workshop to start people off. No, not this one. This is talk, and then I have a workshop. I set people up with a wallet. I explain how that works, how cryptos work, how to buy them, everything. And then my second workshop I have is to teach you, because most people, they buy cryptos with a credit card or bank account or something like that. And even when you would get it from a private person, you still don't know where it comes from. So I teach people how to privatize their cryptos again, which is very important, especially with everything that's going on. And you don't want people to know what you have, whatever situation, if you pay taxes or not. Nobody wants to have other people look in their wallet. So it's the same with cryptocurrencies. And I teach people a process how to buy cryptos, um, uh, how you can buy them and privatize them straight after that, or when you already bought them and you privatize them. So especially when you are interested in your privacy, then I would definitely advise the second class as well. So I'm doing the start class. I have one tomorrow and the day after. That's the basic where I set you up. And next week I have the privacy class. So if you are interested, you can sign up for that on my website, which is sourcetransformation.org. I don't know where Abram, how did you get in here? Did you come through Christopher as well?
That's correct. Yeah, I've been
Okay,
working with Christopher on that process there.
okay, and Mike, how did you find me? Mike, you can unmute yourself. Okay, not okay. Anyway, so all right, next slide. So let's start with a little bit of history. Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency ever, and that started in the cypherpunk movement. And there was a bunch of computer nerds, and they wanted to change the world through privacy, through code and keeping things privacy. They didn't like the whole banking system, and nothing was private, and they set up Bitcoin because of that. But Bitcoin is not private at all, and that will become clear when I in the class as well as a little bit now. So anyway, the creator of Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto, and nobody knows who that is. It can be a group of people or one person. It's a woman, a man. Nobody knows who it is. What's known is that he put his work out there, and nerds went on it, and they worked together to make it better and better. And in 2008, the white paper was published, and the white paper is kind of a business plan. It tells you the timelines, the routing, the purpose of it, all that kind of thing. And when you go to any cryptocurrency, has a white paper, and when they don't have a white paper, I wouldn't buy that cryptocurrency. You need to know a little bit what the plan is. Cryptos are a little different than I'll tell that later on. So the first Bitcoin transaction was to Hal Finney, and he was a helper of Satoshi, and Satoshi wanted to kind of pay him for his help, and that was the very first Bitcoin transaction ever done. And on May 22, in 2010, the first real world transaction was done by Laszlo Hayek, something like that. Anyway, you can read it. And he bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. If you know that Bitcoin now is worth around $60,000, it flops up and down. Then those were very expensive pizzas. Anyway, now you have to know that Bitcoin is very volatile, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's good for people who trade in Bitcoin because that happens. And when you are bought it and you just sit on it, you don't lose anything until you sell. So don't just sit there and keep cool, and you see it flip sometimes thousands of dollars a day. So you have to get used to that when you're in cryptos. Just a little bit of numbers. In October 2009, you could buy 1,309 Bitcoin for $1. And in 2011, Bitcoin was $1. And now it's what I said, around $60,000. It's the top was 68 or 69. That was last week or the week before. So that was pretty cool. And it's expected that Bitcoin will go this year to 100,000, but I don't know if that's going to make it. And as some people say that it's going to go to 1 million, and there are all sorts of high notes on that. But so you just sit and wait. So what is Bitcoin? Now, a lot of people think Bitcoin is a coin because it's called a coin. And when you see pictures of Bitcoin, they have this little gold coin. Well, that's not the case. And it's a pity because a lot of people, they know that Bitcoin is around 60,000 or 50 or whatever it is. And they don't want to invest in it because they think it is a coin and they don't have $50,000. But it's not a coin at all. Those coins are in little machines, and they have codes on them that you can put in your wallet. And what that is, you'll learn that during this talk. It's where you keep your transactions. Anyway, so you can scan that into your wallet, and the coins are. It's like a tourist, how you call that? A gift thing. So it's not coins at all. It's a worldwide digital payment system. There is no authority or organization that runs it. Nobody's in charge. It's like the internet. Nobody's really in charge of the internet. Everybody can go in there and use the internet. And that's the same with Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency. It's a collection of computers that use the network, the Bitcoin network, and it's an app, and the app connects people who want to exchange Bitcoin with each other. And this is not just Bitcoin I'm talking about. There's lots of other cryptocurrencies, and they all work the same, like the same thing. They all have an app, and you can do payments to each other through this app. Everybody that has that particular coin or has Bitcoin can do transactions with each other. Now, it's a network of anonymous users. I wouldn't say anonymous, because if you start off with a credit card or bank account or anything like that, you are not anonymous anymore, because they can trace all, even if the transactions are in numbers and letters, your name's not there. But when you attach it at the beginning with a bank account or a credit card which has your name on it attached to it, from that moment on they can sort of track all your transactions. So it's very important that you know how that works, and that's why I set up my second workshop. It's a peer-to-peer network, so there's nobody involved. There's no bank or anybody in the middle that takes a piece of the action. When I buy something from you, I ask you, okay, which coin do you want? And if I have that coin, we can exchange that in the moment. It takes a couple of seconds, depending on the coin. Bitcoin and some coins can take a little longer. And it's there are low fees, and it's electronic cash through a digital signature. So that is, I'm not going to go into that. I should take that out, because I'll talk about that in the workshop. Anyway, so that's what Bitcoin is. So what I said that about the coin, that Bitcoin, people think that you have to have $50,000 or $60,000 to buy a Bitcoin. That's not true. Bitcoin is in fraction, and the smallest fraction of a Bitcoin is the bottom one. It's a Satoshi. It's called a Satoshi, and it's a millionth. Boing, boing, boing. Yeah, it's a millionth of a Bitcoin. So, and that's why I think it's important for everybody to have Bitcoins, and the reason, or a cryptocurrency. The reason is, a lot of people say, oh, with everything that's coming, you need gold and silver. And yes, but when the dollar collapses and the dollar goes, probably the expectation is that gold and silver is going to be worth a lot of money. Like there are numbers like silver is going to be $5,000 for an ounce of silver. Gold's going to be even more. And you can't go to the supermarket with a coin like this. Also, you can't buy online or anything like this. And because cryptos are in fractions, in these little satoshis, in the case of Bitcoin, you could go to a shop and buy something with a bread, for instance, or a smaller, you don't, well, you understand what I'm saying. So the old system, we live in interesting times, and the old systems are crumbling. The banks are printing money. When you hold on to cash, dollars, you lose 15% every year. So it's not very smart. It's good to have some in case of emergency, because there's still people who want dollars. But definitely, I would put all my savings in cryptocurrencies, gold and silver, for bigger purchases in the future. And then, of course, the government is crumbling. Everything's crumbling. All the old systems, and we are heading for depression. It's already started. If you go to the supermarket, I noticed that a lot of shelves are not so full like they used to be. All the distribution networks are disrupted, which is going to be disastrous. I don't know if you know about what's happening with the farmers. They are destroying their crops. They actually get paid for that. It's ridiculous. I even saw videos of farmers that get paid to dump oil on their properties, which means that I used to, when I was in my 20s, I worked for how you call that, the environmental department in my town for a little bit, and we were bringing the oil drums that were underground we were mapping them out, and the reason was because one drop of oil destroys 10,000 liters of groundwater, and that is about 2,800 gallons for just one drop. And these farmers are throwing these truckloads of oil on their property. So that is disastrous, just for the water in the ground, for the wells and everything. And he won't be able, for God knows how long, to even grow anything on that land. So I'm sorry, I need a sip of water. Okay, so cryptos, in my view, and a lot of people think the same, is the new money, and it's worldwide. So new, and it's also a new way of investing. See, when you go to the stock exchange, you buy stock. And the difference between a cryptocurrency and stock is, when you buy stock, you buy a piece of the company. When you buy a crypto, you don't own the company, but you invest in an idea or project that you believe in. So that is the difference. So you never own a part of the company. And you hope that other people think the same, that they see the value in the project and everything like that. So that's how it will replace the stock exchange. Are there any questions up till now? No? Okay. If you have a question, just unmute and then I'll answer your question. Okay. Now let's see. There is tons of reasons to go into cryptos. I have 3 slides for that. So first of all, you have your own bank in your pocket. There is no bank that is going to screw you with fees or anything like that. You just pay peer-to-peer. So that's really cool. It's worldwide. You can pay worldwide. There are no fees and limitations from banks who you can send your money to. For instance, WikiLeaks, the banks block donations to WikiLeaks, which is ridiculous. It's none of their freaking business who you pay your money to. Also, banks can tell you not to pay to certain countries or to certain people for whatever reason. So that's not the case with cryptos. They can't do anything about it. So they can't limit you in any way, shape, or form. It's peer-to-peer, like I said. There's no middleman. He takes a piece of the action. You do pay a little bit of fees. They're very low in general. And that's because there is a group of people they called miners. Will say a little bit more about that. And they look after the blockchain where the transactions are done. I teach you more in the class about that. It's too complicated to go into that. And they get the fees that are paid for the transaction, that you pay for a transaction. It's decentralized, like I said. Everybody can go in cryptos, no limitations. Nobody is in charge of it. And you can do transactions all over the world for pennies, and you can do that very fast. I do have to say that Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are Ethereum is another cryptocurrency, they are slower at the moment, and they're working on that, and they are sometimes expensive. So, but you can get around that if you want to. So, why? More wise. You can become financially independent with cryptocurrencies and create generational wealth. If you have a job that you don't like, this is the chance to make money with that. You can build up a pension with it. It's easy, and there's a lot of people who buy cryptocurrencies, and they live off cryptocurrencies. That's possible with cryptocurrencies. And here in New Hampshire, because there's the whole freedom community, they buy houses and cars, and they pay rent, and they pay for jobs. You get paid in cryptocurrencies if you want. So here in New Hampshire, a lot of people work with cryptocurrency, especially in the freedom community, and that's pretty cool because when all this stuff is going, and this community is pretty self-sufficient, and they all have cryptocurrency, so you could buy your food there and your whatever you need. Very smart people in general. They know what's going on. So it's a good thing to be in a community like that. And they buy houses and cars from each other and sell them to each other. So, and then when you set yourself up properly and understand, you can maintain your privacy. And that's what I teach people in my workshops. And I have not seen anybody else who teaches that, because everybody sends you to Coinbase and everything like that, which is it's an exchange where you can buy cryptos. I'm coming to you, Abram, where you can buy cryptos and with a credit card or bank account. So it's not anonymous anymore from that moment on. All right, Abram, what's your question?
With exchanging cryptos for things like cars and houses, with the volatility of Bitcoin, how is it decided on with the value versus the dollar?
It's the price in the moment. That, say, for instance, I have pictures of that a little bit further down. There was a house. They wanted $140,000, and the day that you buy that house, you look at how much it is, and you type in 140, and your wallet keeps track of the spot price, as we say that. and you buy that for that amount. So you don't have to even calculate that or anything like that. Your wallet does that
Okay.
for you. Yeah?
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So we're heading for the biggest depression. I think it's already starting. You can see that already. The gas has gone up in most all of the country, all of America, I have to say. And it's bigger than in 1913. And at some point when the dollar is going to collapse, there's no money, there's no ATM or debt. There's just these cryptos, gold, silver, and food. So I always, even though it has nothing to do with the cryptocurrency, but I tell people, please prepare. Get cryptos, gold, silver, but also food and seeds, and that you have water and everything that you need for your daily life. And I think food, seeds, and cryptos are more important than gold, silver, because you can't eat gold and silver. So, so this is just something I want to tell everybody. And something that people don't realize is that all distribution is on credit. And also with that, when the banks tank, that is going to tank too. There won't be any credit. And also with the whole food distribution, and not just food at the moment, all distribution is failed. Like plastics from China and all that kind of stuff. It's very hard to get these things, and it's going to be harder, especially if they don't let all these ships unload that are lying in front of the how you call it, in front of the sea. So I think that cryptos is going to be a lifesaver because of all these reasons. Another thing that's very important, because most people, they want to make money on with cryptos, which is of course people want to get financially better, and I I think that's a great thing. But what is very important is the freedom that cryptos give you. Banks and governments, they cannot stop cryptocurrencies, um, especially if you're smart and you know the privacy, but they can't stop it, and they worried sick about that. So um, they can't touch you. And I teach you in the class all these things, how to protect your cryptos and all that kind of stuff. So no, cryptos are not going away anymore. And I took out the numbers because I got a little sick of changing the numbers all, but I always look them up. So there are millions of crypto users worldwide, and it's growing every day. And I looked it up. There's 300 million people who own crypto in the world, which is pretty much, but it's nothing compared to 7.8 billion people that are in the world. So when you get into cryptos now, I don't know if you invest or anything like that, you can make a lot of money. You're one of the first in cryptos, and when you buy the right ones, and it's gonna pop, and the worse the world gets, the more people are gonna go into cryptos. You can become very wealthy with crypto. So more and more businesses accept crypto payments, and I looked that up. 18,000 businesses have adopted and accept cryptocurrency payments, and that's growing every day. The market cap, does everybody know what market cap is? Can you give me an answer?
No.
You don't know? Okay, I'm going to explain. Market cap is the amount of money that is into cryptos, so that people have put into cryptos, and that is $2.5 trillion is in crypto. So that's not going away anymore. You never have to worry about that cryptos are a fluke or a bubble or whatever people call it. It's a big thing, and it's growing every day. And then there is thousands of different cryptos growing daily. I stopped because that's really growing very hard. But a lot of people think that Bitcoin is the one, and they missed the boat because Bitcoin is $50,000 or $60,000. No, that's not the case. There are, I looked it up just now before I started, 14,443 different cryptocurrencies. Now, that doesn't mean you should buy them all because there are scammers in there. You have to research, but you do that with stock. If you buy stock, you research that too. You don't just buy any stock. So you research the business, and you do the same with cryptocurrencies. And there's a lot of information out there, good information that can help you make a decision. Big businesses are already in cryptos or in the process of setting themselves up. And I got a little list. I'll show you that a little slides further down the road. But if you Google that, you'll get a list of businesses that adopt cryptos. You can buy a Tesla car with Bitcoin. That's an example. In El Salvador, the government has made Bitcoin their legal tender. So they gave everybody in El Salvador $30 worth of cryptocurrency. So everybody in El Salvador has cryptocurrencies now. The other countries like Paraguay, Mexico, and Panama, they're working on the same thing to make Bitcoin their legal tender. So that's huge. Another thing that's huge is when I started with Bitcoin or with cryptos, it was very difficult, except for in the community here in New Hampshire, to buy anything with cryptos because, there weren't so many people in cryptos, and you couldn't spend it. And that was okay with me because I'm what they call a hodler. I talk a little bit more about that further down. But since I don't know, this year sometime, MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal have adopted cryptocurrencies, and that means that the whole world's open now for cryptos. You can buy anything with cryptos with a card. That does mean that what you use your card for is not anonymous, but you can sort of split that for partly of your crypto. So they're working on a fat coin. I wouldn't do anything with that unless I really needed to, but it's possible that in the future that you pay taxes or something to the government with the fat coin. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. Or so we'll see. Now there is a run on Bitcoin. Whales are big businesses, billionaires, government, banks, hedge funds, all those they're all going into Bitcoin. And banks, there is a bank that's called the Blue Ridge Bank and the Mellon Bank. I don't know them. They seem to be really old banks here in America. They have ATMs. They work with cryptos. So it really is in the beginning, and I want to scream that from the rooftops, that get into cryptos for all these reasons. I'm telling you, it's not a fluke. It's not something that's going away. Before, an investment portfolio would hold 2 to 3% of Bitcoin, and now a portfolio has 70 to 100% of different cryptocurrencies. So that's huge. And all these billionaires, they're all going into cryptos. They have more cryptos than they have dollars, because they know that when you have dollars, you lose 15% every year on them, and probably more now because they keep printing and printing. So, any questions? No? Okay. Another thing why it's important, there are 7.8 billion people that want Bitcoin. And what's happening is that we know now that there's only 300 million people in cryptocurrency. So that's another reason why to get into cryptos. If you have 0.28 Bitcoin, you're going to be 1% of the wealthiest people in the crypto space. We're talking about Bitcoin here. And there are videos on YouTube. If you type in 0.28 Bitcoin, you can hear there why that is and how the people look at that. So that's interesting to see that. In the first 3 months of COVID, and I'm happy this is happening, crypto adoption doubled. So people are waking up. It's going faster and faster. They talk about it. After when people get together with Thanksgiving, they talk about cryptocurrencies, and people after, there will be more people going into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's awesome. But people are waking up that they should go into crypto, and I just wish they all would come to my talk so they understand why that is, you know. There's another market that's very interesting, and that's the unbanked. There's 2.5 billion people in the world that are unbanked. They don't have bank accounts. They can't get to bank accounts because they don't have ID. And we're talking about, for instance, Africa, third world countries. And just to have, they just need a phone. And I've been in these countries. Most of them have a phone, and there's an internet cafe, or they have a computer. They can go on internet, and they have their own bank in the pocket on their phone because of the cryptocurrencies, and the world opens to them. They can be part of the world economy, which is like awesome. Just imagine all these people going into cryptos. That's going to be huge as well. 2.5 billion. That's about 1/3 of the world population. I heard a story about there was a tribe, I think in Indonesia or somewhere like that, somewhere in the east, and somebody in the tribe heard about cryptocurrencies, told about it to the tribe. The whole tribe put money together, and they're thriving now because they bought Bitcoin, and the whole tribe's thriving now because of that cryptocurrency. That's how it works. Okay, I love this slide. Cryptos are safer than your bank account because your bank can levy your money and you can't do anything about it. And then there's, of course, the fees. I remember when me and my hubby, we didn't have a lot of money, and we were paying $500 a month on fees because we were overdrafting. And what these banks do, which I think is criminal, instead of paying first off all the little bills, no, they keep them, because for even if it's only $5, they charge you $35 fee if you overdraft. So, you know, it's just horrific. Now, in Europe, England, the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, they all have plans for bail-ins in the event of banks and other large financial institutions getting into difficulty. Bail-in is that they take your money, and they can do that without any problem. If you have more than $250,000 in the bank, they can take the rest. And they can take it all, but you are insured for only $250,000. So if you have 10 million in the bank and they decide they want to take your money, you can't do anything about that, and you only are left with $250,000 for the insurance. So, and they did this in Cyprus and Greece. So, you know, it's really not very safe to have a bank account. And then, of course, there's the credit card info to merchants, for merchants, that they can just, if you go, nobody realizes that you get the money back when they steal it from you, but it's a lot of fuss. But anybody you give your card to, They have your little number at the back, and if there is somebody who's not an honest person, they can take your money, and they can do that anywhere online. And if it's abroad, I don't know, you have to go to the bank and you have a lot of fuss. I had that happen to me one time. So another thing, and this can't happen with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, is a chargeback. Like, I am an holistic therapist and I'm a coach. And if somebody comes to me and pays me with a credit card, and they go to the bank and they say, I didn't like her, or for whatever reason, or because they just don't want to pay me, they can go to the bank and they get the money back. And I worked with them, and I did that never happened to me, but that is a possibility. When they pay you by credit card, the bank is going to give their money back and they take it back from you. You can't do that with cryptocurrencies. All your transactions are permanent. They can't take that back. So, and then of course the run on the bank. The banks only have 10% cash from all the money that people have put in there. And if you're not one of the first people who runs to the bank when something happens, you are in shit street, because you're not going to get a dime back and you can't do anything about it. So, anybody have a question?
When
Okay.
you say that you
Okay.
need
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. You say that all you need is a phone and an email address?
Say that again.
You say all you need is a phone and an email address?
Well, you only need a phone and an internet connection. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you have your own bank with you. Yes.
So it's basically a smartphone that's necessary, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. When you do my workshop, I will set you up on your smartphone with a wallet. So, and then you have your own bank in your pocket. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Cool. So if you ever wished that you bought Microsoft when the stock came on the market, if you would have bought 100 shares at $21, they would have been $750,000 today. But that was in '86, so that's like 6 years later. So you had to wait 26 years from your money you put in there, which was $2,100, to become 750. But if you had bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2010 for 5 cents each, they would be worth billions now. And we have more than 14, almost 14,450 coins there that have that potential. So it's a huge thing to go into cryptos. So you have a chance to do even better than that. You're not too late. I also said that now you can make a fortune in much less than 25 years, sometimes in months, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but definitely faster. So these are some of the companies that accept Bitcoin, but there's many, many more. But just some of the big ones is Overstock.com, Subway, Microsoft, Virgin, Expedia, Etsy, Whole Food, Dish Network, Shopify, Home Depot, thousands more growing every day. And when you want to buy something on Craigslist, you can, there is a button where you can a link, and that shows you everybody that sells stuff on Craigslist that accepts cryptocurrency. So that's pretty cool too. And this is growing by the day. So this is somebody who bought this is in New Hampshire actually, the mecca for early crypto adopters. So these persons, they one of them, I'm not sure who, but bought a car from the other one. So, and here is a house that was sold. Abraham, your question. see, they asked $140,000 for the house. So the moment you do the transaction, you look 104, you type in $140,000 and the transaction is done, and you bought a house for 140,000. And there's a lot of people in cryptos that have a lot of money. So, and they want to spend it, and they buy all sorts of stuff with it now. So now I get a question often, what if we lose electricity? Well, people are not going to sit and wait for the electricity to come back on, for the government, or, people have all sorts of alternative electricities already. And so I'm not worried about that for one bit. And only one computer in the network has to stay on. And then there is all these billionaires who have all their money in these cryptos. I'm sure they have some kind of a provision to keep their computer online. Also, yourself, you can buy these EMP bags. Put your laptop or your phone in there, a separate phone maybe that you want to keep your cryptos on, and you put it in there, and you'll be safe for that as well if there's an EMP or something like that. And people don't realize that when there is no power, there are no banks either, because bank is completely electronic nowadays. So there is no banks either. So I'm not worried about that one bit. And then there's people who ask me, yeah, but I hear that people's wallets are emptied out. Well, that's probably their own fault, because you so you get a code when you open a wallet, and you have to be that code. If you lose that code, you lose everything. If somebody's sloppy with their code, or they give it away, or they have it lying around or whatever, and somebody sees it, knows what it is, they can take it. So I would always ask that question first. And then also, you never want to keep anything on an exchange, because, and then people say, yeah, but you have hackers. They don't go for your wallet, because they do a lot of work to get into your wallet, and maybe you only have $10 in there, who knows, but they will go for exchanges. So I would highly recommend never to keep any coins on exchanges. And then there's people, they say, oh, all the scammers, they go into cryptos. Are you kidding me? There are scammers who go in cryptos, but how many scammers are there in look at the government, for crying out loud. They're all in dollars. So I mean, so that is nonsense as well. Yeah, there's scammers in there, but also in dollars. So it's not just cryptos. And then of course, but most of you know that, maybe Kathleen not. When you are a federal citizen, you are liable for income tax over the gains of your cryptos. But if you work with Christopher, my husband, you know that that's not the case, and that is also for cryptocurrencies. Kathleen, are you in the US or not?
I'm actually in New Hampshire.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to pay taxes on your cryptos, you should connect with my husband,
Okay.
destinationfreedom.org. He helps people to become state citizens instead of federal citizens. And I'm not going to go in there, but if you are interested in that, then you might want to dive in that and have a little look. He has talks every Wednesday. Free informational talks, and have a link. He has a link on the website, destinationfreedom.org. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All you other guys know about Christopher. Yeah. Well, if not, then you might. Okay. So I told you I have 2 workshops. They're online. I'm gonna automate them. soon. One is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency made easy and private. That's the beginners. I set you up in there with a wallet. I teach you how to use the wallet. I go through this presentation a little bit deeper maybe, but to repeat it, let's see, what else do I do? Well, everything you need to know and feel good about your cryptos, and because that's I tell you, when I started with cryptos and I did my first transactions, I was very nervous about it, but then you learn that and it's be okay. But you need to know what you're doing, and I teach you how to use your wallet and everything like that, how to keep your crypto safe and all that kind of stuff. Now, the second one, and I would highly, highly recommend that for everybody, is that cryptos from public back to private. That is how I teach people a protocol, because even if you say you would get your cryptos from a private person, you don't know where those cryptos came from. And if you say for instance a criminal somehow in the whole transaction line started with these did a transactions, and somehow it came in that wallet, they can follow all the transactions if you don't set it up properly. So it's important that you break that, so you are private, and then you can do also. I don't want anybody to know what I have in cryptos or anything by that. I mean, it's no one's business. So I teach people that. So okay. You all been to my website because you have registered, but my website is sourcetransformation.org. I am a coach. I used to be a licensed holistic therapist in the Netherlands, but I can't do that here because I have to study again, and I've studied for more than 32 years. I don't want to do that again, but if you signed up on my list, and you have, because you're in this thing, so you probably could get an email about my other work. I not just do cryptocurrencies. I do coaching and all sorts of stuff. And then there's, of course, I have a page on destinationfreedom.org. That's purely my crypto page. You can email me, info@sourcetransformation.org, and that number is not proper anymore. But if you send me an email, I have to change that number. If you want to talk with me or something like that, send me an email with your telephone number, and I will call you back. Okay? Any questions? This is your last chance for now. Anything? Okay, Katie.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in the workshop.
Yeah.
And is it self-paced, or do you already have times set up for that?
I have a workshop actually tomorrow and Saturday.
So it's a certain timing, or is it self?
It's at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. So if you go to the website, Source Transformation, and there's a cryptocurrency, you go to the link Cryptocurrencies, and then you go to workshops. There is a page, it has a registration for this talk. It has a registration for, when you scroll down, there's a registration for tomorrow. And for Saturday, you can pick which one you want. And then next week, I have the privacy workshop, also 2 days. So you can pick one in the weekend or during the week. I think it's on Friday and Saturday as well at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Thanks.
Yeah?
Yeah, great presentation. So interesting.
Okay, I'm glad. No more questions?
I got one more question.
Go on.
I noticed here in the LA, I'm in the Los Angeles area. There's like people that advertise for like a Bitcoin ATM where you can buy cryptos with cash at like some sort of ATM machine thing. Is that something safe to do, or is that because it says that there's different levels of verification when you buy it, but is that one way to exchange?
I teach you about ATMs in the workshop. Yes, but a lot of ATMs want information from you, and then you're not private anymore when you buy them. There are ATMs, and I have pictures. I show you that in the workshop, which ATMs you should use.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So in the workshop, you learn all that. Anybody else?
Oh,
Okay.
just another question. I'm in Canada,
Yes.
and obviously I'm guessing a workshop would still apply to me, right?
Say that last sentence
The
again.
workshop would still apply to me even though I'm in Canada, right?
Yeah. This would work for everybody worldwide. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it works. It's a worldwide thing, the cryptocurrency. So, in some countries they have different wallets and stuff like that, but you'll be fine in Canada. Yeah. Any other questions? Hi, Octavio. Anything else?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi. Any questions?
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to sign up for your class either for tomorrow or Saturday. Elizabeth, I know I've had crypto that I have some money in through Koinami and also through a Cash App, and I need to move that's to private. I know I've taken your information before. I just haven't done it, and I just try to keep this on the forefront of my head so I can do this, because I know, as you
But
know,
you
Bitcoin
have
jumped up again.
you have already done my basic workshop, not?
Yeah, I did, and I just I haven't made time to prioritize, but hopefully I can take it tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay. Because if you want to move and privatize stuff, then you should do the next week's workshop.
Yeah, that will be for next week.
Next week, yes.
Okay.
It's on my website, sourcetransformation.org. When you
Yeah.
scroll down, there's 2 dates. You can choose Friday or Saturday. Because you had the basic workshop, you're set up, and that workshop is particularly to teach you, unless you want to do it again to do the basic and go through all that, I don't know. But if you want to move and privatize things, then that second one would be your choice.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? Any questions?
Yeah, I just went to your website and I'm not seeing any options I went under cryptocurrencies and workshops and I don't see any dates there.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna have a peek then. Let's see. It should be there because I put all the registrations on there. So there we go. Go to cryptocurrency workshops. Okay, you see here, this is the talk. That's the registration. Then you go here. Oh, wait, pop up. Go. See here, registration for beginners workshop. You click on that. You should go to the registration.
Oh, that's funny. Mine doesn't say register here for beginners workshop.
Wait, let me see.
Mine doesn't look like that, actually.
Oh, really? See, that's the registration. You scroll down the bottom and you register, and then you can register.
Yeah, all it says is it just says register here for the free info talk November 18th. That's the only option. Maybe
are
you
you
have.
on my website or are you on the email that Christopher sent you?
No, I'm on your website, and I did.
Sourcetransformation.org?
Yeah, and I clicked on cryptocurrencies and then crypto workshops. I'm doing it again. I'm reloading the page. Yeah, and all it says underneath is register here for the free info talk November 18th. Maybe you can just email me the link or something. Oh no,
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go. Then we scroll it down. Okay.
Crypto workshop.
We
Yeah, you
got it.
got it?
We got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And then for the next week, if you want to do the privacy, you scroll down and then you have the 2 links there. See that?
Yep. I see it now.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, good. All right. Any more questions? Let me go back to my presentation. There we go. Okay. Any more questions? Last chance. Okay. Well, thanks for being here. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed the talk and that you feel better about cryptocurrency, because there's a lot of you know, misunderstandings about crypto. So I hope I solved that a little bit for you. You learn more in the class and in the workshop. So I hope to see you there. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Welcome.